Man, what's good, y'all? It's the man with the plan. And I ain't talking about damn, man. It's your boy King Killer 2X, Mr. Wavy, Sir Wavy, Wavy Talk Podcast. Y'all know what's going on, man. We'll be bringing y'all the hottest news that'll give you the blues, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? And speaking of news that'll give you the blues, we got this father leaves disabled daughter to be devoured by roaches in a group home. I don't even know how to take this, because first off, if she was in a group home, it's not the father's fault. But maybe it's the father's fault because the father fucked up and got her put in a group home in the first place. Excuse my French. I don't know, y'all. We're going to get to the bottom of this, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If y'all ain't already tapped into the misery machine, go and tap in. Road to 1,000, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if y'all think I could improve, what I could improve on. What y'all want to see, what y'all want to see me react to. Right now, we on them body cam footage videos and them caver videos. That's just what I like.
Born on September 20th, 1995 in Siberia, Russia. At the time of our story, she was 29 years old and was living in Lowell, Arkansas, located more than 200 miles northwest of Little Rock in the Ozarks near the Missouri border. She was one of 6 disabled children who were adopted by David Witten and his late wife Cheryl, who was a nurse. According to David, Katie was a gift from...
Buddy, I look like Satan, bro. What's going on? You look, hey, buddy, he needs some of that. What they do? Buddy look like he needs some of that. I don't know. His skin needs some elasticity to that thing, man. That thing, he look like a demon for real. Lizard folks.
From God to her family and friends. She was born in Siberia with a very
collagen.
Rare genetic anomaly.
Could need some collagen.
Fraser syndrome. She became very ill at birth. When she made a near miraculous recovery, we adopted her. Katie was blind, intellectually disabled, and autistic. Although she had limited ability to communicate, we felt her love. She had a dazzling smile and an infectious laugh. Despite her limitations, her example led to other children finding families and improving their own lives. Her orphanage had been reluctant to allow Americans to adopt their children. After news came to them that Katie was thriving in America, the orphanage allowed all their children to be adopted. Friends of ours in the U.S. marveled at our adopting a child with many disabilities. Seeing our success with her, they decided they had the courage to adopt a special needs child also. Jesus sent Katie to earth for a purpose.
Fraser syndrome is a disorder that can affect the fetus starting before birth. Characteristics include eyes that are completely covered by skin, malformations of the eyes, missing eyebrows or lashes, fusion of the skin between the fingers and toes, among many other things. I have personally read accounts from a few people with Fraser syndrome, and they say they only have one kidney. Not all of them, but quite a few of them. WebMD claims that there are under 5,000 people in the U.S. alone with Fraser syndrome, but this contradicts an interview done with activist and filmmaker Kyle Ann Grendis, who is the director of the documentary Fraser Syndrome and Me, who said in 2022 that there were only 250 known cases of Fraser syndrome. Either way, whichever number is correct here in 2025, this is a disorder that is very rare and is not well understood by the average person or caregiver. Please keep this in mind because this very much impacts the story later on. Now, one picture of Katie exists on the internet that we know of anyways. In the picture, she appears to be sitting on the porch of a white shingled house wearing a pink t-shirt with a white headband, holding back her long brown hair. In this picture here, you can see how Fraser syndrome affected her eyes. Sadly, nothing is known about what Katie's life was back in Russia, and we only have very small clues as to what her life was like here in America with her adoptive family. As a child, she enjoyed swimming and playing on her swing set. According to those that knew her, she enjoyed nice weather and never wanted to come inside. Even though she was blind, Katie enjoyed playing baseball through the Miracle League, which is an organization that removes barriers that keep children with mental and physical disabilities off the baseball field. In 2016, Katie graduated from Heritage High School in Frisco, Texas. Family stayed in Texas until 2023 when the Wittens decided to pick up and move to Arkansas.
However, this happy facade was cracked at 6:06 a.m. on January 3rd, 2025. When emergency services responded to a call on Concord Street in Lowell. It was the Witten residence. When they entered the brick one-story home, they bore witness to an unimaginable sight. The floor was littered with soiled adult diapers, trash, and dog feces. Cockroaches could be seen skittering about the home, which indicated a severe infestation. They were even found inside the dishwasher in the microwave. According to reports, there was only one working toilet, and a portion of the house was flooded. Allegedly, this was caused by an overflow in the home's septic tank. This caused the floorboards to rot. In addition, the kitchen sink and counters were stacked with dirty dishes that were coated in mold. The fridge wasn't much better. It was filled with spoiled food and moldy items. First responders found 5 disabled adults in the home, ranging in ages from 23 to 29 years old. There were 2 men with Down syndrome, 1 man with Apert syndrome, 1 autistic man, and a woman who was described by first responders as intellectually disabled. It was noted that one of the adults was wearing an adult diaper that had not been changed in some time. However, the worst was still yet to come. According to reports, when police entered one of the bedrooms, they found 29-year-old Katie lying on the bed that was positioned against a wall near a window. She was dressed in only a blue shirt and an adult diaper. Her legs were pointed toward the wall, and her head was dangling off the bed. She was dead, and first responders felt that the positioning of her body seemed a bit odd, almost as if she had been staged in that position. According to the probable cause affidavit, police requested an SA kit be administered due to a discovery made in another bedroom.
Come on.
In that bedroom,
Hit me with it.
police found a bed that was covered in dried brown fluids. Those same fluids covered the box spring in the walls. Some of those fluids were thought to be blood. Aside from the filthy bed, the only other item located within the bedroom was a dress. Other reports have also indicated that this wasn't a separate bedroom, but rather the bedroom that Katie was located in. As far as my research has taken me, the results of the kit have not been released. This case is still somewhat recent, so if you're watching this later on and find information about it, please let us know down below. We'll be sure to update you on that piece of things when we find out, if we find out.
When questioned by police, David Witten told them that Katie had always been healthy and didn't take any medications. However, all of that changed on Christmas Day of 2024.
Right.
According to David, she sunk to the floor and wouldn't move, and shared that Katie had allegedly gone through this phase several times in the past. By
What phase? What is a phase? What are you niggas talking about?
phase, David claimed that Katie would refuse food and would lose a lot of weight. He told the police that to combat this, he would provide Katie with what he described as double calorie and double protein boosts. After doing so, Katie would supposedly return to normal. David didn't exactly go into detail about what he meant by this. If what he was saying was even true, we can only assume it meant feeding her multiple nutritional drinks like an Ensure or something like that. However, he said that after this time of giving her a double calorie and protein boost, something seemed a little bit different. According to David, after about a week of feeling better, she, in his words, suddenly stopped dead in her tracks while walking across the room. David said that he put her to bed, and when she wanted to get back up, she would normally do so by propping herself up with her elbow. However, in the days leading up to her death, she wasn't able to get herself out of bed at all. According to David, the night prior, he had gone to check on her.
What it sounds like to me is that, I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there, but I think, bro, I ain't gonna call him my bro, but folks, I think what he got going on is he one of them people that been taking care of disabled and messed up people his whole life. He take care of his messed up daughter. No offense to her. I'm just saying, she's not normal. So it requires a lot of extra work, effort. He probably missed out on a lot of things in life. He probably salty, sad. Look at him. Dude look decrepit himself. He look like he got work to the bone trying to take care of him, which it could be a good or a bad. And I don't mean good or bad, but I mean like he probably was a good dude, but he just went down the wrong way. Sometimes stuff happen. I doubt she made it that far from him just picking on her whole life. But then again, you got to look at it from her perspective. She blind. She got disabilities. She probably gave up. She probably like, fuck this shit. I don't want to eat nothing. Get this food off my face. You know what I mean?
Hit Katie up,
Assumption.
fed her some milk, and then set her back down in the bed. He said that she then made some noises. David went to check on his daughter in the morning. He noticed that she wasn't breathing. Then that he dialed 911 for help. Given the fact that it seemed apparent, by David's account, that his daughter was in need of medical attention, he was asked why he hadn't called 911 prior to her dying, to which David agreed with the investigators that he probably should have done so. In addition, when searching the house, police were unable to find any of the protein boosts that David had claimed he had been giving Katie. This was odd because if he had a tendency to give her double doses, surely he would have at least a couple on hand, or the bare minimum, some empty bottles around. According to a press release from the Lowell Police Department, which was published on their Facebook page the very same day, 73-year-old David Witten was arrested on 6 counts of endangering the
Cuz 73. He barely can take care of himself. He's 73. Why he got a daughter? Is it his baby? I missed that in the beginning or something. Is this his kid?
welfare of an incompetent person. 1 count for Katie, and 1 count for each of her adopted siblings.
30-something.
Negligent homicide was later added to his list of charges on January 6. David was placed in the custody of the Benton County Jail, but was later released on a $25,000 bond with an expected court date of February 10th. Adult Protective Services hospitalized the surviving siblings, and thankfully, they were all medically cleared. Benton County Chief Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Joshua Robinson shared the following thoughts with reporters. He said, "The initial reaction is just like anybody else. It's one of sadness and just kind of shock. You hate to see people living in poor conditions. You hate to see somebody that loses their life, especially at a pretty young age."
Katie's body was transported to the Arkansas State Crime Lab to be examined. At autopsy, it was discovered that Katie was malnourished and had suffered bites on her head from the cockroaches that infested her home. I honestly don't know what would be more horrific, being bitten by cockroaches or not knowing what was biting me because I couldn't see it. There was also an abrasion found on her forehead, but it was unclear what exactly had caused it. Reports of the grim discovery shook the small town of Lowell, and a few residents came forward to talk to reporters on the matter. Neighbor Anthony Kirby told KHBS News, to me, it sounds like a really sad story on both sides, to be honest. Another neighbor, Kyle Fairfax, told reporters, there's a few aspects of it. 1, you never know what's going on in any of the other houses that are on your street. Another is you don't know what everybody else is going through. I feel sorry for everybody in this situation. He added that there should be a greater emphasis on social welfare for our most vulnerable, and he felt compassion for David, saying that his neighbor, in his words, simply bit off more than he could chew.
As of the date of this recording in May of 2025, there have been no new updates to where David Witten's case stands. A search of the Benton County Jail's inmate roster shows no results for David Witten, which means that he's likely still out on bail awaiting trial. As with all cases that have yet to be prosecuted, David is considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And I think we can all agree that if anything, this whole case is tragic for everybody involved. It's clearly tragic for Katie, who lost her life in such a horrible way, and for her siblings that had to suffer in such disgusting conditions. It is understandable that maybe David needed help after his wife passed away, but why didn't he ask for help?
Most people don't ask for help. Don't think y'all know everybody. Y'all don't know everybody. Everybody don't just ask for help. Some people, he's 70-something. He's stuck in his ways. He probably not even considering, thinking. He probably logically don't think. The people around him probably think, oh, he's still cool. He got all his coherence and all that. No, sometimes these people don't really be all the way up there. He probably not all the way up there, like y'all just said. He not all the way up there. Like, he need help. He needed assistance from the people around him. It's not just on him. The people around him, he ain't got no family. He ain't got nobody around visiting. The kids that he actually did have, they probably wasn't coming to visit. That's the problem with y'all be. I used to help this 70, 80-something-year-old lady. She used to live across from me. I used to grab all her stuff, take her stuff, grab her groceries, whatever. And, you know what I'm saying? She didn't grab my laundry that was sitting in the thing one time, folded it up, gave it to me. Oh, here you go, honey. White lady. And she used to probably be racist back in the time. But where were her kids at? Nowhere to be found. She died with nobody over there going through nothing. And I even helped get rid of all the stuff that she had in her apartment after she passed. And the kids was arguing over who get what and all this other stuff. Y'all wasn't there shooting in the gym with that old lady. Stop playing. So that's all I'm saying. What's going on?
Why didn't he get Katie to a hospital before it had gotten to this point?
Can Cud drive? He's 70-something.
According to reports, David told the responding police officers that he had no idea that first responders could provide care for a patient in their homes. He also claimed that he didn't want to overuse the emergency room. The thing is, even if David didn't have his wife there to support him, the couple did have other children other than their adopted ones with special needs. So where were the safeguards and the extra resources? Katie's obituary lists 13 siblings in total.
Where they at?
That means that David had 7 other children that weren't living in the home at the time.
So?
In fact, rather than calling 911, David called 2 of his adult sons. One of his sons, named Samuel, told police that he had recently seen Katie in a wheelchair being pushed by one of her adopted siblings. So with that in mind, there were other adults well aware of what was taking place within the Witten home.
And didn't do
Help
nothing.
that was so
Didn't do nothing.
dearly needed.
Didn't do nothing.
As we've mentioned time and
Nathaniel.
time again on our channel, disabled people are at a significantly higher risk for experiencing mistreatment, including at the hands of their caregivers. Unfortunately, this is because they are less likely to report or be
That's some
believed.
goofy.
And this is a problem everywhere, even in our home state of Maine.
Gang, I would never.
According to a report released by
never.
Maine's
That's
DHHS,
disrespectful.
there were over 2,100 allegations
some,
of
you know what I'm
mistreatment
talking about,
targeting
but
people with intellectual
She
disabilities in
ain't touched
2024.
intellectually, but still.
And these are just the allegations that
My
were
mama
reported.
gangster. She'll do something
We can
to you.
only estimate how many could have gone unreported residential care of
about to
him
bore
for
me. What's
7
next?
years. According to reports, the lawsuit alleges 9 counts, including negligence, fraudulent concealment, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligent supervision, training, and retention. The Larkin son, known only as JL in court documents, is a nonverbal man with severe intellectual disabilities. The document claims that employees at the facility would bribe the residents to engage in sex acts with each other with a promise of pizza, which they never even got. With regards to JL, he was strangled and forced to insert items inside of himself, including a spray can and a TV remote. According to a 2016 study conducted by the University of Michigan, it is estimated that as many as 40%.
Hey, Michigan, y'all gotta answer some questions. I almost threw up in my mouth. Brother. Michigan. This how y'all doing it? Cause I'm from the Midwest, cousin. I can't let y'all be repping us doing that. You know what I'm talking about? We don't do that in the Midwest, cousin. That's sick. What the fuck is you doing? What the freak is going? Nigga, what? Ugh.
Of disabled women experience essay or physical violence in their lifetimes, and that more than 90% of all people with developmental disabilities will.
What be wrong with y'all? What literally be wrong with y'all when y'all be doing this, like the essay and the CP, when y'all just be looking this shit up? What really be going through y'all heads? Like, y'all really just be on some sick shit? Like, niggas just really that nasty and horny and just wrong? Like, bro, that just don't even, like,
will experience
what?
essay.
You know that's, like, what part of that is attractive?
Other forms of mistreatment can include withholding medical care, social security payments, housing, to collect a check each month. Sometimes very clear. This is no candy for money.
Stealing money. Come on.
If this is
Katie's memorial service was held on February 1st, 2025 at the Springdale Adventist Fellowship Church in Springdale, Arkansas, with Pastor Rick Aldridge officiating. Details regarding Katie's final resting place is unclear, but her obituary was released by a company called Cremation Services of Arkansas, which would lead one to assume that she was possibly cremated. Close. We would like to leave you with a message that was left in Katie's guest book on January 24th, 2025. It was written by Ken and Lisa Jenkins. It reads, I remember the first time I saw Katie. Cheryl was standing in the lobby of the Burleson SDA Church, and I held her for a few minutes. She was incredibly lightweight for her age. A few years later, she swam in my pool until she was shivering and her lips turned blue. She adamantly did not want to get out. Such a sweet soul, looking forward to heaven where she can see everything. So one thing that we talked about off air that you felt really strongly about is that you felt that they should do, I have to call it an essay kit because YouTube doesn't like the R word, on any dead woman that foul play is suspected. So maybe you want
I
to
don't
go in
even
on
think
that.
it's necessarily foul play. Suspicious death, I think I could say, because I would say that Katie's death was suspicious. Her body was
Absolutely.
possibly staged. In doing this,
Betting case.
awesome.
I don't think I'm gonna watch the rest of this show.
Or
I got other stuff I could be doing. I ain't gonna lie.
choose to have them at home with home health
All right.
aides.
Well, that's it. How y'all feeling about that, man? Like, share, comment, subscribe, comment, all that type stuff. Father leaves disabled daughter. I must have missed the part about the roaches. I didn't even see that. Let's read some of the comments. I'm a father of a disabled man, and man stays with me as long as I'm alive. He always will be. I fuck with that. I was a carer for a couple of incidents. I think it's important. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's really tragic. It's messed up, and it's sad. We know people gonna neglect. People gonna abuse. It's part of the human psyche. I'm assuming, I guess. And if you even think about it in nature, like animals do the same stuff. I've been watching a lot of. Would y'all be interested in me watching like animal stuff and breaking down like knowledgeable information? I love science and like knowledgeable information. I might start reacting to like why it sucks to be this animal and shit. Shout out to that page. But anyway, yeah, bro. It's sad. It's a sad situation. It could have been avoidable. We know that. I feel like anytime a disabled child or person is involved, it makes it even more sad because they couldn't defend themselves. It takes a sick individual to take advantage, sexually assault, and or do any of that sick, disgusting. Essay. I'm sorry, y'all. Dang, I bet they gonna find this. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't mean to say that word, but yeah, I'm just saying, man. Y'all know what's going on, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Do y'all think he deserved life? Do y'all think he should have had his family more involved? Do y'all think his family should have been more involved? Do y'all think that's weird that they wasn't involved? Maybe they just didn't like him, and that's why they stayed away from him. You see all that type of stuff too. I don't know. Like, share, comment, subscribe, man. Ski up. Y'all know what we do. Get the B up. You know what I'm saying? Glee up. Glee. I'm gone.